Well, hello, Young and the Restless Daily Recap fans. Today's weekly recap is for December the 9th through December the 13th. Now, this is going to be a short YNR daily recap because guess what? Hardly nothing happened all week long. Zilch, nada, snooze fest. Okay. Gee. Um, Michael tells Sharon, and Nick is there. Mariah, that Faith wasn't there. Mariah, that the toxicology report came back on Sharon's medication, and guess what? Laced with PCP. Jordan and Ian went for the hard stuff. Okay, I'm like, whoa, PCP, that is something. And it's the PCP that would make her hallucinate, paranoid, do violent things, the whole things that they've been making her do, PCP would make her do. So now they're trying to figure out, okay, how did it happen? Who did it? Who could get to her medication when? Was it done at the pharmacy? Was it done after? All of that stuff they got to figure out. Well, of course, we got Jordan out and about in her stupid little blonde wig. Nobody knows it's her, even though not Summer, Claire kind of like, did I know you from somewhere? And now she's all paranoid. And she's pissed, Jordan, because Claire is now smoozing up, kissing up to an abbot, living the life of a princess. She's like, how could she after everything I taught her? What do you mean? What'd you teach her? You taught her to kill? You taught her that revenge was the only thing. You taught her that no one loved her, which was farthest from the truth, Jordan. So anyway, Ian is all pissed at Jordan, saying, "You're not finding enough information on me. You better get what I want." She's like, "You know what? Who are you talking to? You don't talk to me that way. You better watch your tone." And so Ian kind of backed off. She goes, I'm the one taking all the risk. You need to get out for a change. Right. And Ian is like, well, whatever. So then he kind of backs off a little bit because he saw Jordan was doing a big old push back, right, on him. And he ain't ready for that. So we have Summer. She uh they decided that Claire would be able to tell Harrison. Or Claire said, I want to be the one to tell him that I got another job and blah, blah, blah. So Kyle was cool with that because he's cool with anything she want to say. They sleeping together now. Summer's like, all right, see y'all later. And then she comes back the next day. Kyle's working from home because Harrison got off early, saying, do you have a minute? And he's like, well, sure. She goes, I want us to tell Harrison about Claire. And Kyle says, wait a minute. Claire wants to tell Harrison. And Summer said, yeah, I know she does. And I feel we're his parents, and that's something we should tell him. And Kyle said, are you sure you're not just doing this to push Claire out? And Summer says, no, Kyle, I swear that's not what I'm doing. And I'm like, yeah, that's exactly what you're doing. But in this case, I kind of feel Summer's right. How many of us parents had to change babysitters? Now, I don't care how much the babysitter liked our kid. Did we let the babysitter be the one to tell the child? No, we do. Now, if they're going to continue to go, they got some time to say goodbye. But that to me was a teeny bit, even though it wasn't done out of malice or overstepping, for Claire to make the statement and pretty much already have decided the course of events. She decided she would be the one to tell Harrison. That's not for her. That's for Kyle and Summer to decide. Now, I would have liked Kyle to have said, okay, you know what, Summer, I agree with you. But let's let Claire be here so that she can reassure him that she will still see him. I mean, to me, I would have done that because Claire is actually kind of related to Harrison now, because she's Summer's cousin. But anyway, they made it, told him together. He accepted it. And he says, well, I'm still going to be able to see Claire, right? And Kyle says, absolutely. Claire and I are friends, like Claire and you are friends. And Claire's going to be around here a lot. And Summer's kind of faking the smile. Mm-hmm, Summer. So little Harrison says, good, because I love Claire. She's nice. And Summer's just looking down at him. She says, but listen, Mommy, you're going to see Mommy and Daddy every day. Really? Because I kind of thought Mommy and Daddy were divorced. So, which mom, how much time do we have to see Mommy and Daddy when they don't live in the same place every day? Yeah, Summer, you really are kind of trying to squeeze a move in, right? And so Kyle was saying, because I know you're not, are you having a problem with Claire and my relationship? Because you shouldn't. We've both moved on. You have Chance, and now Claire and I, it's new, but we're definitely developing something. And so Summer had a funny look on her face, and he goes, uh, you do still have Chance, don't you? And she broke the news that no, she and Chance aren't together right now because of, arresting her brother and blah, blah, blah. And Kyle says, you know what? I guess that could be a little hard, a little difficult. He arrested your brother and your brother was innocent. But you know what? Chance was doing his job. So get off the man's case. Um, and then we had Devon and Abby return from their honeymoon. They go and get little Dominic, Ash from Ashley. Now, I'm sorry. That's the first time I saw Dominic at the Abbott house at all, since Abby and Devon were gone. So when did Ashley have the grandchild? Seriously, Harrison could have been playing semi. He's older than Dominic, but at least saying it's good to have Dominic here, blah, blah. No, no. So I really don't know where that child was. But allegedly he was with grandma, okay? Grandma Ashley. Um, and Nate hired a PI to help find his brother for Amy. Um, and let's see. Okay, Ian. Since Jordan said it's your turn, you haven't lived up to your end of the bargain. You go out and you find out information what I need. I want information on Claire. I want it. So he has her list, right? On what she wants. Look, Ian goes out and the first thing he does is try to get information on Sharon. He's only out doing for himself, not for Jordan at all. But look at the disguise he's in. I'm sorry. I, I don't know who that man could be. Who could he be? Then when he goes out to the coffee house, we have Nick and Mariah talking about the drugs and how now it's a police investigation. Thank goodness Chance and the police department are really going to be going all out to find out about the lacing of Sharon's pills. Do you see that man sitting at the table? Ne'er hat, nor glasses, nor bozo nose, no nothing. And he's sitting there. But that's supposed to be in disguise. If Nikki were to have walked in, Nikki would have known who he was right off the gate. And realistically, somebody put in Comment Corner, and I can't remember, but I seem to remember when Mariah first came to town, somehow there was some kind of connection with her and Ian's cult. Somehow there was. So if anybody remembers in Comic Cornerland, go ahead and put that there. But he's just, hey, just like that. Okay. So we also have Devon and Audra, not Devon and Audra, Nate and Audra, they're getting hot and heavy like they are. Audra gets hot and heavy. With whoever she's involved with, she hot and heavy with them. So she's kind of getting a little discouraged. She hasn't found a job. And Nate saying, you're talented, you're this, you're that, just building up her little ego. Um, and Nate gets a call. Devon actually came while Audra was still there. And Audra had to go anyway, because Devon still don't have trust her. But you know what, Devon, suck it up. Mind your own business. So Audra leaves, and he goes, because Devon, when he saw her coming down the stairs, he says, "Oh, so you move in yet?" And she goes, "I'm planning on redecorating the place." And Nate just looks, and Nate's kind of amused at it. And Devon just looks at her, and she goes, "I don't even have my own drawer yet, Devon." And like none of your business, but no, we're not there yet. So she leaves, and he and Nate talk, and he goes, you guys are getting kind of cozy. How close are you getting? And Nate politely lets him know, that's my business, cousin. My business. And I'm going to keep my business my business. So Devon has to respect that. And, he backs off. And Nate tells him about the PI and blah, blah, blah. Okay. So now, Abby and Lily were at the coffee house talking, and Lily's, Devon's been worried about you. I mean, Abby saying blah blah blah. Lily just got back from visiting Charlie and Maddie. You know, Maddie's going to be a doctor, and Charlie is a producer. I think Charlie's a producer. So anyway, you know, Devon ends up showing up. No, no, no. Who shows up there? I think Billy. Yeah, it was Billy walked in, and he says something to her name, Abby and Lily, and kind of clears the room pretty much. So Abby goes home, and her and Devon is all kissy face, suck face, and then uh, Lily shows up. She wants to talk to Devon, and Abby says, "I'm gonna go watch." My beautiful, adorable baby sleeping. He's so cute. And I'm thinking he's okay, he's over two, and I don't know, but you know what? Maybe y'all still did that, but I don't sit there and watch my toddler sleep. Yikes! But sleep is sleep, you know. But anyway, she goes upstairs, and Lily tells Devon that she is going to return to Winters, and she does want to work with him and build a company. And Devon says, "Oh my God," that made him so happy. He says, "And Lily, I do want you to know, I want to work with you, Lily, not you working for me. I value your opinion. I value what you're going to bring to the table. And I want to show you that I can be a team player." And so she says, "Well, that's good to hear, Devon. That makes me feel good, because that was one of my apprehensions." He goes, "I know, I know." So Abby comes down. They tell her. They end up texting Nate, inviting him to society for dinner regarding Lily. And so he ends up asking Audra to come, and she ends up going. And they're a bit strained with her sitting there, but they're gracious. Abby's gracious, and Lily is she wasn't sniping, and they were just at Devon to spread the good news about Lily coming back, and they were head bumping, celebrating, cheers, and the whole 9 yard. And Audra actually was feeling a little nostalgic about her not having a family to make amends with, and now and be close with, because now they've come pretty much full circle to where they're close again and the whole 9 yards. And Nate got a little teary eyed once he found out Lily was coming back, and they were kind of teasing him a bit. But next thing you know, Audra's choked up because that's just something she goes, I've never really had a family ever. And she goes, this is just different, but there's something in my eye, that's all. But they're like, okay, sure. But anyway, it was a really good family dinner. Now, Phyllis got on my last nerve, just like last week. See, there comes a point in time where you constantly going somewhere yelling and berating and in front of Faith, which to me, okay, no, Faith is not a child, but Faith is Sharon's child. And if somebody was going to be attacking Phyllis in front of Summer, Phyllis would go old hog crazy, right? So, and then she's telling her, Faith, you need to get away from your mother. She's a serial killer, psycho. Just saying all kind of, no, Phyllis, no. And Sharon is like, look, Phyllis, you want to come at me, you come at me. You leave my daughter out of it. And Phyllis is like, I'll talk to who I want to talk to. See, and I'm like, oh God, I was so sick of Phyllis. So she then, when Michael comes, it's funny. Every time Michael shows up, Phyllis ends up leaving, right? Um, but she was met Lauren at Crimson because she told Sharon, I am so sick of you, Sharon. Sharon said, if you're so sick of me, sick of seeing me, why every time I turn around, you're at my coffee house? Which was a great point. If you don't want to see me, don't come here, Phyllis. I'll go wherever I want to go. Oh, but anyway, she was telling Lauren that bits and pieces of her memory from the accident are coming back. And she keeps seeing these headlights coming towards her. And then things go black. And Lauren says, headlights, Sharon's car. And she goes, that's the thing. I don't know. And Lauren said, wait a minute. So you did not see that it was Sharon's car? So you, and Phyllis kind of got defensive for a minute. Whose side are you on? She goes, look, Phyllis, you're my dear friend, and I'm trying to help you fill in the gaps. So Phyllis was trying to rethink. She goes, no, it's just, I don't recognize the car. And then Sharon and Faith walk in. Oh, what are you saying, Phyllis? Oh, I can't believe you're finally admitting that you can't say it was me that ran you off the road. Is that what you're saying? Oh, then we go back into it. And I fast forward the whole thing again. So Michael shows up and he goes, hey, 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 what is going on? And so Sharon says, Phyllis here is finally remembering that it wasn't me, or she's finally admitting that perhaps it wasn't me that ran her off the road. And Phyllis says, I never said no such a thing. And blah, 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 whatever, whatever. And then she takes off, of course. Phyllis does. And so Michael says, okay, so tell me, step back. Tell me what really happened. What is going on with that? And so Sharon says, we heard, or Faith says, we heard Phyllis telling Lauren, or maybe that was Sharon saying it, that she didn't know, you know, whose vehicle that was, that she couldn't say for sure if it was mine. And he looked at Lauren. He goes, is that true, Lauren? And Lauren wasn't going to just bold-faced lie to him, So she goes, yeah. So later, Phyllis runs into Michael and Lauren, and she's back at, you stabbed me in the back. You're supposed to be my friend. You this, you that. And then he goes, Lauren told me you can't. Now you're unsure as to, was it even Sharon that ran you off the road? And she looked at Lauren. She goes, I told you that in confidence. Now I know, okay, you really aren't my friend either. Oh, see, there we go. Now I got to write her off too, right? So Sharon is insistent she's going to get hypnotized. Faith and Nick let her know, well, we're going to be there too. And they tell Michael, and Michael says, as your attorney, oh, I'm going to be there too. So now we got a whole audience for Sharon coming out of the hypnosis, and I saw scenes for next week where it's going to be what's his name? The person that Tracy is seeing, I can't think of his name. Martin was his brother, whatever his name is. Um, Alan. Alan is going to be the one to hypnotize Sharon. So we shall see how that goes. Now, what the funny thing is, Jack besting Victor is getting up under his skin. He's telling Michael, "You're gonna do this. You are It ain't over, you know." And he goes, "Victor," because he told him what happened, and he goes, "Oh, Jack finally turned the tables on you." And Victor looked at him. He goes, "He got the best of me." He goes, "He did not get the best of me. Jack Abbott will never get the best of me. He got lucky. That's all. And I'm gonna turn the tables. You're gonna do this, that, and the other." And Michael just looks at Victor, and Victor's like, he's not gonna see it coming. Well, Victor now has to. He sees Jack at society, and he's like, "I just came over here to let you know. Well played, well played. Congratulating you on your move. You know, oh, you scooped up the companies, the divisions I sold off. You know, well played." And Jack says, "Okay, what's really going on here? You would hardly come over to me and congratulate me for besting you." And Victor says, "Well, you didn't best me, but well played." And he goes, "Really, I didn't best you, right?" And Kyle walked up, and he could hear. And when Victor left, he comes up to Jack. He goes, "What was all that about?" He goes, "Victor pretended," this is what Jack says, "Victor pretended to want to congratulate me on acquiring scooping up the divisions that he sold off from Glissade." And Kyle says, "You're not buying that, are you?" And Jack says, "Not in a million years." That's so unlike Victor Newman. He would never come over and congratulate anybody for besting him. No, he goes, he's up to something. You know, he's up to something. Now, not Lily, um, Victoria, Nikki, they have a nice new wardrobe for Claire. Pretty much had Lauren do a little boutique for her, for her some new outfits for work, going to officially working for Nikki. So she came down in one of them. It was cute. I don't know if I would have said executive, but cute little outfit. Nice high boots. Looked nice and spiffy and preppy. So that's going well. And I'm loving Nikki's haircut. I truly, truly am loving the haircut. So Victor wanted to speak to her. Victor had the nerve to, of course, warn her about seeing Kyle, saying, "Now that you're going to be working with your grandmother, it's important that you have no distractions. So you don't have time for relationships, especially with a Kyle Abbott." And Claire looked at him, and he goes, "That family is so dysfunctional, and it's this and it's that." And she goes, "No, they're actually healing. They're actually coming together as a family. And I think it's great." And Victor's saying whatever he's saying. And so Claire says, "I understand what you're saying. And, you're looking out for my best interest." She said, "But Grandpa, fortunately, I make my own decisions. And it is okay for me to be spending time with Kyle and even possibly getting a relationship with Kyle." She said, "Because I make my own decisions." And he just looked at her. He goes, "You're more like your mother and your grandmother than you ever know." See, he's thinking, he's trying to see if he could push over on her. And she's like, "Nope. I was raised by my Aunt Jordan. Mm-mm. You, Grandpa, ain't gonna push me over." you know. So anyway, Nikki and Victoria came down, and because they said, "Okay, Victor, time's up. We gotta Claire, there's a room upstairs for you. Some clothes are up there. Let's have at it." And so she said, Victor said, "Well, that's my cue to leave." So before Claire went upstairs, they said, "Well, what did he want?" And Claire said, "He was trying to warn me not to get into a relationship with Kyle, but I let him know that, I personally did not see anything wrong with it. And I make my own choices, because Vicky and Nikki could see Claire wasn't upset, at all with the conversation with Victor. She pretty much held her own. She was cool with it, right? So that was that. And Victoria. Oh, and when she goes, she feels I won't have time, for career and to be in a relationship with Kyle. Nikki said, "Who cares what your grandfather thinks? That's your choice, honey. That's your choice." So anyway, but Victoria, she's looking up like, I see, I'm gonna have to have a talk with my father. See, I'm gonna have to do that because he's stepping a bit too far. And then we have Billy running around, drinking. Every time you see him, there's a drink in his hands. Oh my goodness. From early morning on, drinking, just aimless. And Jack said, "You know what? I will find a spot for you at Jabot. Okay, there's another EO's position. They could make him CFO or COO, Chief Operating Officer. He could be that. I mean, come on, Billy." So anyway, that's it, everybody. That is it for the. I'm so tired of that show. But that's it. We'll see what next week brings. Let's go to comment corner. Comment corner. We have 4 comments. Claire says, "I believe Jordan will kidnap Faith." That's interesting. Everyone will think she's at school. No, Faith is already uh let Nick, and probably when you said you did this 4 days ago. So you did, she just made the decision and told Nick and Sharon that she's not going back to school. So Jordan will have an opportunity to kidnap her. Yes. I'm still not clear why Ian wants to stick it to Sharon. I know, I don't know either. I don't watch YNR daily, just an episode here and there. I wish that was me. I think Claire and Kyle are boring. They are. I like the original Summer. She looked great with Kyle. This Summer's not so much. Yeah, I know. What was it, Hunter, or one of the King sisters. I think it was Hunter King. um I think Claire will become cutthroat since she'll be working at Chancellor. The writers will revamp her character. She's a good actress. And then Kimberly says, "I give all the respect to the actor Eric Braden, but I cannot stand Victor. He reminds me of the devil roaming around like a lion." Yep, that's right. Um, and the excuse of poor little orphan kid is not cutting it anymore. I think that character doesn't know what it is like to have loving parents, so he destroys other families. I know, with no regrets. And Nikki, she lets him get away with everything, even though it's her fault in the first place. OMG, she can't forgive Diane, but Victor gets no repro reprimand. Shaking my head. Yeah, I know. And for Victor to say, "Jack put Nikki in so much danger, almost killed someone I love," that is just a crock and a lie. And then Denzel says, "Not gonna lie to you, Daily Recap Lady. I like both Kyle and Claire as a couple." Oh, okay. "I'm sick and tired of Kyle and Summer's relationship. To me, it's time to start fresh." And that's Claire and Kyle as a new couple. Summer pissed me off last week Friday's episode when of Young and R, to her being bitter towards Claire when Claire told Summer that she was no longer going to be the babysitter for little Harrison, and trying to break up with Kyle and Claire when Kyle got there. Oh, when she jumped in and told Kyle that Claire was quitting, she told him, "I swear Summer's definitely her mother, Phyllis." Oh, you said, "I swear Summer's definitely her mother, Phyllis." I hope the writers are not going to put her back with Kyle, because I don't want that at all. Uh, Great review, daily recap as always. I don't want them back together at all either. And then Anita says, "Daily recap lady, I agree regarding Claire. Claire is like The Walking Dead. Her character is so boring, and Kyle does not help. They do not have any spark, any chemistry. They're a boring couple. They are a boring couple. All right, that's it, everybody. That's it for Comic Corner. I will be back next weekend for another weekly recap of The Young and the Restless. And I will be back then. So, everybody, have a safe week.